All right, good morning, everybody. We're gonna get started here. This is for your routine weekly briefing for Central North Carolina. And this is meteorologist Andrew Kren. We're gonna cover the period here Monday through Sunday. So all going from the 18th all the way up to Christmas Eve on the 24th. All right, so I'm sure everyone was well aware of the rain that occurred yesterday. It was quite a bit of it, actually. This is a radar estimate map, and then overlaid on top, I have observations from both airport observations and also from COCORAs from our observers from the public. So if you take a broad brush across the area, roughly had maybe 1 inch to 2 inches across the triad, 2.5 to maybe 4 inches in portions of the triangle, especially as you get into eastern Chatham County and up towards Sanford and Lillington. And then the area that saw the most amount of rain was over the coastal plain, Clinton, Goldsboro, and even up to Rocky Mount. Some of those places got between 5 and 6 inches of rain. In those areas, we had some flash flood warnings that were in effect last evening. So all in all, this was well received in terms of the drought that has been occurring across the state, which this has been some beneficial rain. We had some last weekend, and we had some yesterday as well. So starting to get into a more active pattern. So as we look into more of kind of a statewide, I know several days ago, I believe the mountains were forecast to get a little bit more rain. But as you see here, this is the AHAP's 7-day observed precipitation, which largely covers yesterday's event. The heaviest rain, as you can see on this map, occurred over central and eastern North Carolina and even towards the coast. The mountains didn't really get a whole lot of rain. Mostly if you get towards Asheville, they got maybe 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch, and some locations along the southern Appalachians maybe 1/2 an inch. So really the mountains, which could also use some rain, didn't get a whole lot, but certainly over our area we have it's been well received in this area. So this is a good impact in terms of our drought, which we'll get into a little bit later. But because of all this rain, we do have river flood warnings that are in effect. We have minor flooding that is occurring along the Haw River near Bynum. The latest stage a couple hours ago was 11.2 feet. The good news, this is expected to fall below flood stage later this morning and into this afternoon. That flood stage is right at 11 feet, so it's just right now barely in that minor flood stage. There is also flooding occurring along the Neuse River. First one is at Clayton, which it's currently in minor flood stage, and has not crested yet. It will crest to about 12.7 feet this afternoon and eventually forecast to fall below flood stage Tuesday afternoon. And then lastly, there is flooding at Smithfield that is currently in minor flood, but its forecast was an upgrade this morning to go into moderate flood stage, 18.9 feet, reaching that eventually later this evening and into early Tuesday, which will eventually fall below flood stage early Wednesday morning. At 18 feet, the impact from that, the Smithfield Town Park and the Neuse River Walk, which will eventually be flooded. So not a huge impact in terms of roadways, but certainly that river walk and parts of the greenway will get flooded. All right, so let's turn into the rest of this week. So we have generally quiet weather for the remainder of this week after a relatively wet Sunday and also gusty. I should have mentioned that it was pretty gusty over most of the area. We saw several locations in the central North Carolina that saw gusts between 20 and 40 miles per hour. Highest were across the southern Piedmont and Sandhills. I believe Maxton had a gust of 45 miles per hour yesterday afternoon. But today, largely quiet. We do have a dry cold front that will move through tonight. It could bring a slight chance of a sprinkle, maybe a shower, primarily the triangle and towards Rocky Mount area, so basically along and east of the triangle. Otherwise, largely going to expect gusty northwest winds at times, 25 to 30 miles per hour this afternoon. Those will diminish a little bit tonight, but then pick up again tomorrow to maybe 15 to 20 miles per hour tomorrow. We will see below normal temperatures. Today we'll generally see highs close to average in the 50s, but we will see below normal temperatures forecast for tomorrow and Wednesday as cold high pressure will settle into the area. So that will produce mid to upper 40s for highs. Actually, Tuesday, tomorrow, looks to be our coldest day of the week. And then we'll see a slightly warmer weather, but still below normal on Wednesday with highs in the upper 40s. Then tomorrow, that will be our coldest day for our high temperatures, but then the coldest night is likely to be Tuesday night to early Wednesday morning. It looks like most of the area will drop into the upper teens and low 20s Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. We will see eventual moderating trend by Thursday into Sunday, with high temperatures rebounding back into the mid to upper 50s. And really, we're not really seeing a next chance for rain, probably not until the early to middle part of next week. It looks like in the guidance maybe Tuesday, potentially on Wednesday. So largely looks fairly dry this week. And with the dry forecast, we don't have any threat of thunderstorms over the next 7 days. Likewise, rainfall amounts. Again, we could see a light sprinkle or a shower triangle and points east toward the coastal plain tonight, but otherwise not really much in the way of measurable rain the next 5 days. And due to that, we're not expecting any flash flooding. So I will point out here, this is the drought update that was released on the 12th of December. So this does not include the rain, the widespread rain yesterday. I do anticipate there will be some improvements, but it's hard to say what changes they may introduce, especially as you get towards the western part of the state and towards the mountains, where the rainfall there was not as widespread, or not as they didn't see as much rain as we did. Most of the area in the west got a quarter to maybe a half an inch of rain, whereas we got anywhere from 2 to 5 inches of rain. All right, so in the extended outlook, it still looks active and it still looks to be favoring above normal temperatures. So central North Carolina has a 40 to 60% chance of above normal temperatures. Likewise, it's roughly a 40 to 50% chance of seeing a continued active pattern with above normal precipitation chances. So it looks like potentially some of the signal from El Nino is starting to potentially have an impact. So it looks like we will stay active in this 8 to 14 day time period, which hopefully should continue to be a good impact in terms of the ongoing drought. All right, so last slide here. Upcoming work week looks to be largely dry. There's no impactful weather during this briefing period. Below normal temperatures will be forecast tomorrow and Wednesday as a cold front moves through tonight. That could bring a slight shower tonight, but otherwise largely dry, and the main impact being some gusty winds tonight and tomorrow during the day. We will see moderating temperatures in the 50s for the latter part of the week. That will continue into Sunday. And really our next chance of rain is not going to probably come until early next week, perhaps as early as Monday afternoon, evening, but looks like it could be even into Tuesday or Wednesday. And that is all I have with the